All right, here we go. Welcome in to everyone that's watching this on the Tubies. That's Ubies, aka YouTube. I am Charity, aka Nice Comps, and I am very happy to see you on this beautiful, wonderful Thursday evening. We're going to be doing photographing of clothes. We got some Y2K, we got some modern. It is shirts and all shirts. We got a jacket today. I did tons of pants yesterday, so we are doing a lot of shirts today, and we're going to be welcoming in our TikTok friends as well here in a second. So I'm going to get that started. If you're watching this on the replay, please feel free to fast forward for a second. I'm going to welcome everybody in, and then we're going to get this party started and cooking. If you like seeing resell things, like, subscribe, ding dong, and all the good stuff. Hope to see you back here. I'm here pretty much every day, standing in this spot, doing cool stuff. I'll be shipping in the morning too, by the way. All right, everybody, let's get our TikTok friends in here. Here we go. All right, let's see who our first TikTok person for the day is going to be. It's always a surprise and an adventure. Also, if you're watching this on the Tubi, the Ubies, feel free to ask any questions if you've got them. I've got the old chit chatter up so that I can hopefully see you and respond today as well. Who's going to be? Drum roll, please. Who's going to be our TikToker? Jennifer. You made it. You're the first one in today. Congratulations. You're the winner of everything. Hey, Shelly. Who else do you got coming in today? You got Heidi coming in, and Creative Lane is here. Fantastic. Thrift Revival Store. Vicky's here. I see my star for Vicky. Hello. I'm very happy you guys are here. Hannah with the cool hairs here. Jem is hanging out. What is good? Yo-Yo. Always know it's Jem when I get the yo-yo. Croc is here, not to be confused with Brock Sampson, who is an amazing character on the Venture Brothers. If you haven't seen it, it's like the best cartoon of all time. Steve is here, and Mary Lynn. Tracy, welcome in, you guys. Thank you in advance for the hearts and the love and all the good stuff. If you're not following and you're interested in reselling, or you like just weird girls that sing random songs in the middle of the day, then this might be the channel for you, because I'm a bird of a different feather. If you like things that are really normal, I'm probably not the bird for you. So, howdy, Joey. What is good? Yeah, so we're going to be doing photographing tonight. We're going to be doing, tonight's like shirts, and all shirts. I've got tons of shirts I need to hammer out. So we're going to get those out. We got some Western, we got dress shirts, we got t-shirts, we got some Y2K jackets, flannels, a lot of just really good bread and butter stuff. Tomorrow we're going to be doing other clothes, and I don't know what it's going to be because it depends on what box Justin brings in from the garage, because I have a hoard and I'm working through it right now. What is up? R. Howell. That is not Robert Howell, is it? Because if it is, that would be so wild. Off to Wonderland. I love watching you. How was your day? Denise, you're in here. My day was really good today, actually. I got up this morning and I did all my morning things, my coffee. I have like a whole routine in the morning. I got to turn on my Star Wars lightsabers. I got to turn on all my little lights and diffusers and all that. I know it's a vibe. I got that done, and I got all of my early listings up today by 1 in the afternoon, completely done, which was great because I got to tackle a horrible shipping mistake last night. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday when we were shipping, I had thought I had duplicated a label. Long story short, I had, but then I took the label that I thought was a duplicate off the wrong package, and I had to put it on the right package. Justin was on his way to go to the post office and UPS, and I caught it. And here's how I caught it. The very last thing that we all shipped together yesterday was a 3XL Ralph Lauren polo shirt. Now, I know that those weigh about 1 pound, 3 ounces is about what they weigh. And I know that because I shipped so many of them. And I was like, wait a second. That last thing that we shipped was 14 ounces. There's no way that could have been the polo shirt. I know that can't be it unless I misweighed it. And if I misweighed it, then I need to get it back anyways. So I started investigating. It takes Justin about 15 minutes, or it takes either of us about 15 minutes to get to the post office because the traffic here is so horrific. He almost got there, and I literally called him and I was like, stop. And he was like, what? And I was like, don't ship anything. And he was like, what's the matter? I was like, no, you don't understand. I don't just think I messed up a little bit. I think I messed up a lot of it. So I had messed up because it was also UPS and USPS. So I had transposed 3 packages. So my guy that was supposed to get the 3XL shirt almost ended up with a cottage core corduroy jumper. The person that was supposed to get the cottage corduroy jumper almost ended up with a UW zip up 3/4 zip. And the guy that was supposed to get the 3X almost ended up with the UW tracksuit thing. So all 3 people almost got the wrong item. All the weights were off. Everything would have been wrong. I would have literally lost like $120 easily on that. So, hey, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a thumbs up and a high five if you've ever made a mistake, because it happens. I was just so stinking happy that I caught it, but it took me like 2 hours to figure out because I couldn't figure out who I had sent what to. I had to go on a pirate ship. I canceled the wrong label, so I had to buy another one. It was a literal nightmare. So long story short, the listing I wanted to get up, all the listings I wanted to get up last night, I wound up getting up this morning. So today was a much better day than last night. I still went to bed feeling like a success because I figured it out. But holy smokes, it was a situation. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm never going to catch up with the 73 messages I just got. So if you had something to say, I love that you had something to say. God, I see you over on YouTube. And Denise, it's all good. Yo, guys, it's all good. It happens. Things happen. Like, I want to say thanks. I sold the first bundle on Depop. Ruth! Ooh, ooh, yeah. Awesome. I love that. Spencer's here. Spencer, your purse is on its way. Ooh, and we just got the Edison bulbs, which is my favorite thing ever. You guys know I love that. It always makes me so happy. It makes me smile. So yeah, today's good day. Rough last night, but the package situation. But hey, we got it figured out. I also had shipped out something, and it went breaking and shipping a couple days ago. I've only had like 3 things ever break. A wing came off because literally the post office conveyor belt smushed this toy that I had sent, and it was a $6 toy. I'm not that upset about it, but the guy I wound up sending him over a refund, but he left me an awesome review, so that was a win. Love that. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that purse, Spencer, is literally like, I couldn't even find another one online like that, and I couldn't find another one with the NAT zipper that was that old. So yeah, if you look up, I don't know if you're familiar with the NAT zipper brand, but if you look it up, it's a brand that comes from Mexico, and it's a really good sturdy zipper. And that is so old, I literally couldn't even like time date that. So, oh yeah, of course you got a good deal. Are you kidding me? All the help you give me, I wouldn't know to find things like this, a farm jumper for $3 at a garage sale. I wouldn't know to find that kind of stuff if it wasn't for you. Coley's here. All right, guys, let's get started. So we are going to be hammering through some, like I said, we're going to be doing some modern stuff. We've got some Y2K stuff. We got some jackets. I'm really trying to get, I think I might even have maybe a fishing shirt or 2, trying to get those kind of things up before the season is completely over. So I'm really working on this kind of stuff right now, getting these dress shirts up because we've got holiday stuff coming up. People like to dress up for that. And of course, all my short sleeves I want to get up. This just happened to sneak in as a long sleeve. We got a ton of short sleeve stuff I definitely need to get up today. Bobby Joe is here. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, please ask. I am an open book. I will share my information. I hold no secrets back. Sometimes I share too much. You're probably going to get a song or 2, but that's okay. That's what I sold on Depop area. No way. Ruth, you and I are like this tonight. Like, ooh, I know what you're doing. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's cool. Yeah, Ariat. Dude, I can't even keep Ariat in my store. I put up those 511s that we did yesterday. They sold in like 15 minutes. I was like, oh, maybe I discounted them a little bit too much. They were women's and like some weird sizing, and some of them had some spots. But that Gorp core, dude, that just flies off the shelf. You cannot keep that in. All right, let's start with our shirt here. If you're watching and you're new to the channel and you have the question of what in the world kind of photo setup is that? If you head over to the Tubies That's Ubies through the old link dinketer on my wall, you'll see a link over there. We can follow that and it'll take you over to the Tubies That's Ubies. And there's a 2-minute video over there that will tell you not only how to make this for an inexpensive price, but it'll also tell you where you can get it. So if you're curious about that, that is the place to look. All right, so we're just going to put this in. Now, I do this with all of my shirts. I kind of fold them in. It makes it so I can get closer up on the shirt. This is a nice little button down. It's got a couple strings on it. We're going to get those off here, and we're going to get a picture of the front, and then we're going to get a picture of all of the other measurement stuff. I made a chicken sandwich for lunch today. You know how I feel about chicken sandwiches. Guys, I can't stop. I can't stop with the chicken sandwiches. I've backed off a little bit, man. I'm telling you. That place is right next. That place with the good chicken sandwiches is right next to the post office. So I'm like, dude, it's like my weakness. Why do you have to be right next to the post office, which I'm always at because I'm selling stuff? Chicken sandwich with a little bread and butter pickle in there. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot go wrong. Waterloo, Supreme Seltzer. Dude, this stuff is great. What we do is when they have it on sale at HEB, we'll buy like literally like 10 packs of it. Because otherwise it's like $6 a case. But when you find it on that mad deal for $3, it's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, Ruth is like, oh, that sounds good. Okay, so we are going to pop on our eyeballs here. And a couple things when you go to take photos. So if you're on an Android, I cannot help you. But on an iPhone, you want to make sure you're always in square mode. Whenever you're putting anything up for sale online, always in square mode. And then in your iPhone, there is a setting for you to be able to keep it in square mode so that it won't ever go back to the other size photo. I mean, not permanently for the rest of your life, but until you change it back. So I just keep mine in square. Also, there's a little thing up here at the top, and that's your exposure. So on my setup, anything that's a darker color needs like a -3. Anything that's a light color needs like a +3, and it gives it that nice true tone. Yes, I do not like LaCroix. I don't either. I've tried it so many times and I just don't like it. And actually in the Waterloo, the ones I really like is that blackberry lemonade. And then I like the ginger one too. I think the ginger one's great. It's kind of like drinking a 7-Up without all the sugar because I do not need all of that. I might be slow, but how do you get to square? So if just Google it, McKenna, because everyone's phone is a little bit different. But if you just Google, how do I get to square mode or 1:1 ratio is what it's called. On my phone, it'll walk you through that. And then there's also videos on how to like keep that in square mode as well. I like Bubbly and Topo Chico. Yes. You know which one we get the most? Actually, because we do a lot of Waterloos, but we do this one too, the Kirkland, just the Kirkland Italian sparkling mineral water. It's way less expensive at Costco than like the Perrier. So that's what we usually do. I don't know how we're on a seltzer water situation, but we're talking about it. Kelly, what is up? Judy and Lopez are here as well. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to get this into -3 for the coloring on this. And then I always do kind of like my first photo of the night. And then I take a look at it. Like, does that look like that color? I think I might need to go to just a 0 on that. That looks a little dark to me. Let's take a look here. So there's nothing wrong with playing around with your settings a little bit. So like this is the first one I took. And it just looks kind of dark. Like you can't see anything. It doesn't look like the shirt. So I just messed with the exposure and you can totally see the difference between those two. So that's the first one I'm going to get is that front picture. I'm going to erase that original one because that doesn't look right. And then we are going to move along. And then the very first picture I'm going to get after the front picture is I'm going to get the shoulders. Very important that you do shoulders because everyone's body is different, right? So then we're going to get our length. Now on the length, you also want to make sure that you can see the front and the back. So most men's dress shirts, all Ralph Lauren polos, especially like the vintage ones, are going to have a shorter front and a longer back. That's really, really standard. If in your descriptions, you only put that longer length, when the person gets this, you're going to get a complaint. They're going to say, I tried to wear the shirt and it was popping up and you said it was 34 inches and it's really only 32 inches. And then they're going to, have something to say about it. I just realized I did not do a bottom button there. So we're going to get another picture of our front here because we do not want people thinking it's missing a button. Okay. And once we do the length and once we do the shoulders, then we're going to go ahead and do the arms. Now, I don't do the arms on short sleeve stuff unless it is like a jersey or something that's got kind of an unusual length arm. If it's like got a wide or baggy arm, or it's a 3/4 length, or it's kind of more like a shawl like, I may do that just because I don't want someone to be misled as far as like how long the arms are on stuff. Very important, I think, in the larger sizes too, for some of the women's clothing, is to get the length of the arms, because a lot of women are trying to, maybe cover an area up. And so they want to have that, they want to know like how far it's going to go down on them. So once we get all that, then I'm just looking for any like spots or anything wrong with the shirt. The shirt's in great condition, so I don't see anything. I'm going to bring it right back over here. Groovy Grabs, I'm happy to see you. Hey, question. For those of you that joined my team yesterday, did you guys notice I sent an individual tag on each of your things? So now you have like a special badge in your back, and you'll have to look. So if you join my team, which I don't even really know what that means, but if you join the team, you're part of the Nice Comps team, I will sign you a little cute tag message that is something that I think about you or your page. So it's just something fun to do. I got a couple messages at the beginning of the week from people that had seen them, and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know. I just found it in a weird setting in the back. DW, you're going to get something now. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's fun. I like all that little stuff. I like the little stuff that they do. Jennifer is here. What is going on, Jennifer? How are we this evening? What I want to know is everybody safe? What is going on with that hurricane situation? Like, I saw one of my friends on here, Tracy. You guys know Tracy. I saw her doing a video out at the beach in Pensacola. Things are like closing down, and I mean, I don't even know what is going on out there. It looks a little bit bananas. So I hope everybody's keeping safe, and anyone that knows anybody that's out there is checking in on them. We are all, as humans, better together. So I think it is so stinking important for us to be checking in on each other and making sure everyone's okay. So I've got a couple friends that live out in Florida. Justin and I don't know if I've ever talked much about this on the stream, but we've worked online for many, many years, and we had spent almost 2 years completely on the road. In fact, right now in 2017, 16, oh my goodness, can't remember anymore, guys, is when 2017 is when we headed out, and we spent 2 full years on the road. We didn't have a home base. We put all of our stuff in a storage locker. And got to join my team. Vicky, you're part of them. You're a member. I love it. Woohoo. So we had spent 2 years on the road living out of Airbnbs. So we would just rent an Airbnb. We would pick a state and we'd go there, and we'd stay there for like a month or 2. And so we stayed in a lot of different places, but we ran from so many hurricanes. Oh my gosh. 3 in Florida, the one that was in Texas and Houston. Literally, we were like running back and forth. We ended up in Arizona for like, I don't know, 4 months or something, because we just wanted to be like in a state for a minute where we didn't have to like run from a hurricane. So we spent some time in Arizona, which was really cool. We had a great time there. Got to see a rattlesnake. Got to have some really good food, meet some interesting folks. But along our travels, how I got on this whole situation was, on our travels, we ended up we did the Pensacola thing. We were in Tampa a lot. We spent a lot of time on Anna Maria Island and in through Destin. And man, I'm telling you, you start hearing those like hurricanes and like things. You're just like, we're out of here. Justin and I had to like barrel our car through this puddle that was literally, it wasn't a puddle, it was like an ocean of the ground. We had palm trees flying out our windows. Our little Thule cargo container up top was like going crazy. It is no joke. You do not want to be in it. It is hardcore. Coley's a member of the team. I love it, you guys. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, you will each get a little personal thing about you. Give me a minute to do it. But what was that? Do you see my eyeballs? Vicky, you said an I see you. That was rad. Well, I haven't seen that one. I don't even know what that was, but that was awesome. Arizona. We were just guys. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, we got to write down our specs. So also, if you're new to coming here to see me and hanging out, yeah, exactly. If you're coming to see me, I also put down my measurements and stuff when I do this. And the reason I do that is because I like doing stuff in batches. So I will sit down and literally, like, the way that my brain works is I hyper focus on an activity. Everything else around me just goes away. And I will just sit there and, like, I'm like Cartman, right, from like South Park when he's sitting at the desk, and I will just like hyper focus and literally hammer these in. So if I have all of my measurements down and ready ahead of time, that's my jam, man. I just want to do it. I want to go. I want to get it done. This was a medium. This was an Ariat. And what are our measurements? We got chest is 21. Our sleeves are 22.5. And our length is 28 and 30. Like I said, make sure you get both those measurements front and back. And then, or of the hem. And then the shoulders are 18. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, that's the hem there. So you're just putting, of course, that's folded up a little bit, but I mean, within reason, it's still a 28 and a 30 hem for sure. Salvi, I was thinking about you. Justin just fed the dogs. I was like, I wonder if we're going to get any squeaks in here, but they are fed and they are crashing. I am very happy to see you. So do you post the pictures you take of the measurements, or is it just for you? Oh yeah, Leslie, I always put the measurement photos up, and then I also put the measurements in the description, because there's two different kinds of learners. There's people that learn by sight, and there's people that are going to learn by reading numerically. It's kinesthetic and cognitive learners. So if you're getting both of those in there, you are hitting 100% of the population versus just 50. Is your phone camera on that strap? Yeah. If you're in here, you guys know how much I stink and love this thing. This strap has been with me for over a year now. I wear it to every garage sale. I wear it to every concert. I literally need to just wear it around the house, because if you've noticed, I have somehow lost the strap for my glasses. So I lose things really, really easily. I love this thing. If you're wondering about it, I do not make them. This is not my company. But if you go up to the old link Dinketer on my Wally, it'll take you over to a thing that says reseller supplies. You can click on there and find one in there. They're not expensive. And I'm telling you right now, literally the amount of times I would have lost this phone. I bought this because I almost lost my phone at a garage sale. And it was, I had just gotten my phone too. I think it was like 2 weeks old or something. Oh, Amy. All right. So the next one we've got here is a Wrangler. These little Wrangler Rancher t-shirts are great. They typically are a pearl snap, short sleeve. The amount of descriptive words you can get on this is so big too, because you're fitting so many different demographics. You not only are fitting Western, but you're also fitting, like, look at this is Paisley. So I'm able to do hippie, boho. The cut of this, I can also do skater, indie, workwear, biker, retro, like the keywords and the trigger words on something like this. There's so many that you can put in that it just makes them sell fairly quickly. We got this for $2 at a garage sale. No, I'm sorry, $1.50 at a garage sale, because I did Let's Make a Deal. So we got this for $1.50. This will probably sell for like 16 or 17, I would say. So it's not some sort of crazy, insane flip. But you know what? When you can take $2 and turn it into, 14 after fees and everything, I always pad my shipping a little bit, so more like 15. That means I'm getting $13 profit on this. And I didn't have to wash it. I didn't have to do anything fancy to it. It actually came on another hanger. So I didn't even have to do a bunch of like de-wrinkling or anything like that, which was great. So also any of these ones that are whiter. So this is a 23.5 chest, which means it's typically actually more like a 47. Make sure if you have anything that measures over like a 44, you can do loose and baggy as well, because that loose and baggy aesthetic is so hot right now. So I would definitely put that down in your trigger words and your keywords. That is going to help a ton. And then we're going to get a picture of this back. And I don't see any flaws. This thing is super crispy. Definitely, it's this Wrangler Ranch line. It's not a high-end line, and by no means is it, an area at, but it'll still turn a little profit. And a lot of times I find that if I have a bunch of Western shirts and I can kind of list them all at once, they wind up selling kind of together. And what I mean by that is I'll end up with somebody that buys one, and then right after that, they'll buy another one. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't mean, I wanted to get them at the same time. Can I get discount shipping? And what I usually do in that case, in fact, I have someone right now that just messaged me that, is I just put the packages together and then I just refund them a little bit through eBay. You don't have to do that. That is not something you have to do. That is just something I do. Good customer service stuff. I mean, my thing with customer service is whatever I give out to you, I will get back in trifold. And so I have had quite a few repeat buyers on both eBay and Depop. I haven't had a lot of repeat buyers on Poshmark, but I don't know. I don't sell a whole lot on Poshmark anyways. Oh, thank you for the gift. Oh my goodness. I appreciate that. Hey, Craig. All right, let's see. Oh, who do we get? Irina. Irina's the 27th member on the team. Irina, you're going to be getting a little badge from me. Look in your guys' back end thing, like either later tonight or in the morning, and you should see it. Hey, Tyler. Craig, I'm happy to see you. Gracious is here. Ooh. Snorrentino, not to be confused with Tino, the shoe expert. So tonight, you guys, tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so in about an hour and a half, you've got Arizona, and then you also have Hustle. Both of them are going to be interviewing Tino tonight. Tino is awesome. Tino knows shoes. This guy is a shoe guy. So if you are even remotely interested in any sort of shoe stuff, he is someone to definitely watch. He does a lot of retail arbitrage and gets tons and tons of shoes. I see him get lots and lots of Nikes and stuff like that. So definitely check that out tonight if you guys get the availability to do that a little bit later on. All right, the next one we've got is another one of these Wrangler Ranchers. Now, this is more of a flannel material, which is great because I'm also going to be able to use grunge in my aesthetic. There's like this hybrid look that's becoming popular right now. And it's like a mixture between, well, there's two, hip hop and Western. You see that with like Post Malone, Beyonce, kind of, you see that. And then there's also this like indie punk grunge mixing with Western as well. Kind of take like Kurt Cobain's flannel look and mix it with like, I'm trying to think, like Social Distortion in their button-up plaid era. Something kind of along those lines is definitely having a moment. And I think that moment is probably going to continue for a second here, especially because you've got mainstream artists putting out Western albums, Western songs. So definitely, if you've got anything Western, get that delisted and relisted in your store. Make sure you're doing a ton of descriptive words like cowboy, cowboy core, rodeo, workwear, Santa Fe, ranch, farm. For this, we're going to do 90s nostalgia, throwback, retro, Western style. We're going to do country boy, but then I'm also probably going to throw like a skater, skate, and an Indian there. How are you able to get the sleeve situated so nicely? It's this setup. I'm telling you, it's the kind of felt I'm using in the back. And then my board is slightly tilted out. This is a shelving unit right here. This would normally have shelves in it, but it's a kind of extra large wide one. If you want to see where any of this stuff was, you just got to go over to my wall, go to the old LinkedIn up there. It'll take you over to the Smile store. Just click on the thing that says reseller help to get you started. You'll see everything in there. And I actually have a video over on the Tubies That's Ubies. It's like 2 minutes long. You can find it and it'll show you exactly what I do, because I get back in the back there and you can see Justin actually building it. You are welcome. Okay, once we get a picture of that front and we know it looks good, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop up here to our shoulders, and then we're going to get our length. I've noticed on these ranch wears, they pretty much have the length in the front is the same as the back. It's not like your typical dress shirt where you're going to have shorter in the front than you are in the back. I haven't seen that in any of these yet. So that's not to say that it doesn't exist. I just have not come across that with these shirts yet. All right, we're gonna get a picture here of this chest area. I got this for $1.50 at a garage sale, so can't go wrong. Because it's a flannel style, I'll probably be able to get just a little bit more for it than that last one, and it's long sleeve. So this one will probably be closer to like 19 to 24, just depending on how many are online right now. So I'll probably list it at like 26 because I like to play with my prices. So on eBay, everything goes immediately on a 5% off sale. That way everything always looks discounted. And then on Depop, it automatically goes on a 10% off sale. I do 15% off every I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days. I'll just do a 48-hour 15% off if sales are a little stale over on Depop, which they have kind of been the last 24 hours. It's been really quiet over there. I think we've only sold 2 things on Depop in 24 hours, which for me is super crazy. So I like to kickstart that a little bit. I also boost over there, which that costs me a little bit. And then I do bundle discounts. So everything over on Depop gets marked up. My shipping and everything gets padded a little bit over there too. And then that way I'm not losing out on any money. Thank you for all the likes, Gracious. I appreciate it. Whoa, we're at 2.K already for likes, you guys. Holy smokes. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel like we're doing something right. Hey, Rebecca, City Lights, what is up? How is City Lights on this evening? I am curious how you're doing. All right, let's pop this in a numbered bag here. If anybody's wondering about our inventory system, I did a little video right before we got on here. It's just a really short and sweet one showing kind of how we do these bags and then showing you my inventory room. So I just keep it really simple. It is nothing fancy. It's just inventory. But if you're curious how I do it, when I get off of here, then there is a video about that. I also did a video because I've been trying to catch up. I know you guys have had so many awesome questions, and I have had a hard time keeping up with everything. But I also put a video up earlier today. Someone had asked me about their sales being slow, and I had mentioned do you know the rule of 20%? She said she wasn't sure. She didn't think so. So I did a little video on it. It's just a marketing thing you learn when you've done marketing, and it's kind of learning how it's not the law of 20%. And I think I originally had typed that, but the law of 20% says you'll get 80% of your profits from 20% of your workforce, which is true. But this is different. This is the rule of 20%, and it teaches you consistency, but it also teaches you patience and the ability of the penny a day thing. So when I get off there, that's also there if anyone's interested in checking it out. Thank you for the heart puff, Susie Q. Retro Toys is in the house. Retro, you got to get over on Depop. I remember. Oh my gosh. God just gave us 408 more likes. Holy smokes. You just took it over 4,000. Yes, you guys are going crazy. You're going wild. You're going bananas. Okay, so we got, we just sold something. What we sell, guys? It's always fun to see on live what we got going on here. What did we sell? We sold a pair of 2008 Levi's. You know it's got to be Levi's. Carpenter light wash denim jeans on Poshmark, which is always exciting, yet also I'm oh man, they're gonna take 20% of that. Oh, Poshmark. Thank you, Susie Q. Yeah, this was a labor of love. We had a really bad setup for the first 2 tries, and this was the final one. Did you just see I was a cowboy, which is very fitting because we're doing cowboy shirts. So this is a pearl snap as well, which again, those are just crazy, crazy hot right now. So get your pearl snaps up for sure, because this is the time. If something's hot and something's selling, you won't get it up there. All right, our chest on this one was 24. Looks like our sleeves are 24. Our length is, wouldn't that be funny if it was 24? 30. That would be a weird large if that was like that. And then our shoulders are 17.5. You'll almost always know it's a Y2K shirt when it's 24, 24, 24. It'll be this perfect square. Those shirts are always a square. I sold a toddler size 1991 Addams Family shirt for $99. Boom. Retro, where did you sell that? That's incredible. That's amazing. Advice: if you snoop her eBay closet for keywords, yeah. Do it incognito so Justin doesn't say, right? Uh, being in Texas, I find so many pearl snaps. Dude, Ruth, you and I, man, it's like pearl snap extravaganza out here. Yeah, when I was in Washington, if I found a pearl snap, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a holy grail. Down here, it's like I go out garage sailing and it's like 50% pearl snaps, which is awesome. I mean, heck, I'm not complaining, that's for sure. Like they always sell. I have no problem selling them. And the nice thing about the pearl snaps is my buyers are just so insanely unpicky about that. I don't know why, but they are just like, oh, they buy it. And I always, the reviews like, great shirt or thumbs up or A plus. Like it's always just like some dude that's just like, yeah, it works. That fits me. I like that. Like it's never like the women sellers, the women buyers that are like, hey, no offense, ladies. But they'll be like, this is more of like a pink champagne versus a millennial pink. I'm like, okay, you're cooked. Let's just not even do that. in this reseller's humble opinion. All right, so our chest on that is 23.5 on that last Wrangler. And what was our no? That was a large. What was our number? 1097. Perfect. Mike is in the house. Posh really isn't that bad. It's usually similar to promoted listings on eBay. I don't know, man. Posh always, because Posh has that 20%. I don't ever see that much getting taken on my eBay. Maybe they're just cleverly hiding it though, which is always possible. eBay. Oh man, Retro, that's fantastic. You charge fees on shipping and tax on eBay too. Yeah, that's true. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer's like, I'm pulling you to the Posh side. I don't know why. Well, and you know what though? To be fair, I stopped doing the discounted shipping over on Poshmark too, and that has helped because that extra $2 every time was just like, oh, it's killing me. Yes, Mike, you're so welcome. I'm so happy you got it. Mike wound up buying. We did. Do you guys remember that Affliction T-shirt that we did? What was it? I think it was like at the end of last week or the beginning of the week. That sick like fire Affliction T-shirt that's got like the Grim Reaper and the flag and the motorcycle, and it's like the lightweight old school Y2K. He wanted picking that up. That thing is sick. Like it's such a cool shirt. Yeah, like some hair clients. Shauna Lynn, you mean like when I used to own a salon? Yeah, I know all about that. eBay is 60% of my sales. I felt the way you did until I math it out. That's interesting. Yeah, that's wild. Wild Thrifty's here. What is up? All right, let's get cooking here, you guys. Another one. So this is a little denim and flower. Now these shirts, if these seem to sell pretty well for me, but they're not huge, giant money makers. What they are is they are just a nice little bread and butter. Normally the guy that buys this, I may or may not even get a review. It's going to be some younger, skater or a preppy kid going to a party or something like that. But what's nice about these little kind of bread and butter shirts is I tend to find that I will sell them as like a bundle deal over on Depop, which is great because they'll get like, 2 or 3 shirts and I'll end up getting some of the stuff out of my inventory. But because I've padded my shipping and because I've padded my prices, even though I'm offering free shipping on the bundle, I still don't wind up losing out. And I get 3 things sold. I am a turn and burn seller, guys. I am not someone that keeps stuff in my inventory. I want it out. Like, go new ones. I stopped giving discounts and shipping, says Denise. Why should I absorb those fees? I hear you. And the shipping is not that expensive over on Poshmark. So, oh my gosh, got 510 more likes, dude. My son is listing vintage Levi's, mostly bell bottoms tonight. That's fire. When you can find vintage bell bottom flared Levi's, dude, are they buttons? Are they the button? Because if they're those button flies, I know exactly what pair of pants those are. It's probably the zips, though. It's probably the zips. CT, what is up? CT, did you just become a subscriber? Oh my gosh. Oh, red face. There it is, red face. All right, you guys, we officially have 2 subscribers. Vicky and CT, thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. Adds value to me and lets me know that you like the content we're doing and things are going well. I appreciate it, CT. That makes me very, very happy. Okay. All right, let's get this thing photographed. So I picked this little guy up for $1 at a garage sale. He'll probably sell for, oh, I don't know, maybe 14, 15. One of the reasons I picked this one up though, because there was a couple other ones there. The print was just not very good, and or the size was bad. A couple of them had spots. I picked up this one for one reason, and I am curious for any of you in here that graciously I tried to sub TT keeps clocking me. What in the world does that mean? That's no good. They are 646 and 684s. Whoa. Whoa, those are rare boys. Rare. Like the dark color tinted ones. Whoa. That's crazy. Those probably have some fire whiskers on them. Holy smokes. How do you become a subscriber? Denise, I think it's on here. Is there somebody help? Oh, maybe at the bottom it says subscription. I don't know. Take a look. Let's see. Is it something I have to put up? I don't even know. Oh my goodness, you guys. That's so crazy that I don't know that. I wish I know that. Somebody help. This is week 7 on TikTok, guys. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm a hot mess. The star at the bottom of the chat. Okay, thank you. Because it looks different on your guys' end than what it does here. Oh, gracious. You guys, that's 3. We have 3 subscribers. That makes me so happy. I'm telling you, I'm going to get the red face every time it happens because it's like excitement and also like sheer embarrassment but in the best and most awesome way. Oh, that's so great. He's only 15, but knows a ton about Levi's. I love that retro. That's fantastic. All right. So pop quiz, guys. If you spent any time on this channel, you know there is an aesthetic right now that's becoming absolute fire, huge on the internet. It's everywhere you look. Why did I get this shirt? It is because of that. What is it? CT, you and your hubby deserve it. I appreciate CT. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. I am very curious who is going to know what the answer to that question is. Who knows the answer? If you guys are answering, I can't see it right now, but if you are answering, feel free to put in the comments next to the answer kind of what it is, because it's a really interesting aesthetic that's happening right now. I don't know if the world is just running out of aesthetics, and so aesthetics are now being made up, but this shirt 100% fits right into that. And I'm curious when I turn around here to see if anybody got it. Eclectic Grandpa, baby. There it is. Eclectic Grandpa. Jennifer with the first answer. So Eclectic Grandpa, all you got to do is Google it and you'll see it. But right now it is becoming so huge. And it's like a mix between it's like a Boca Raton rich grandpa, but like, or dad, but like it from like 1960. So he's got the really big faced watch on. He's got, this shirt with probably like a sweater vest over it that just smells like money. He's going to be wearing a pair of roll cuff pants with a seam crease down the front. They're going to be about this much too short for him. He's going to have a nice pair of loafers or driving shoes on. He probably no socks, or a really interesting pair of Argyles, but like money Argyles. That is the look, and it is definitely the aesthetic that I would say I am seeing trend-wise become something. So that look, also the look of the streetwear look of like that kind of black and white look. Starboy is what we found out it was called the other day. It just has that kind of like, it's almost like a hitman kind of look, like very, very stark contrast. Black and white is also kind of big as well. All right. Yes, it is grandpa core. It's still grandpa core, but it's definitely also eclectic grandpa. Now, this is also skate. It's also preppy style, preppy wear, frat, university, academia, lightweight, beach. There's a lot of different other aesthetics that go into this one as well, but for sure, the eclectic grandpa needs to go in there. Jeff Goldblum, Marie. Yes, absolutely. Jeff Goldblum is 100% an eclectic grandpa. Like I think of that, or I think of like an old kind of like gangstery movie or something. Like I have yet to come, like I think Riz had it the best. She said it's a mix between like Mumford and Sons and oh, what'd she say? Mumford and Sons and Kramer. Mumford and Sons and Kramer. If that looked at the tip of your tongue, but you don't remember what it is. Yeah, the Riz. Kramer versus Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Yep, exactly. All right, let's get the measurements of that one up there. So that is our denim and flower. And that was a large, which is great. I do okay in the mediums in that size, and I think it's because of the dude that's buying those. It's going to be that kind of like preppy guy that isn't like the sports preppy guy in school. He's like the kind of like all American preppy guy. His name's probably like Chris, and he's like 24, and he's got like he's dating a girl named Caitlin. You know, they like to go to the football games on Friday nights. He doesn't play. He's also doing like a major and a minor in computer science. Yet he's not nerdy. He's very popular. Like these are the things that go through my head, you guys. I'm just making that up, but that's who I imagine is wearing that. If it's not an eclectic grandpa, is preppy Chris with a computer science degree. All right, the length on that is looks like 30, and these denim and flowers are pretty much the same length in the front and back. I haven't really noticed that they ever end up a different length, and I don't see any flaws or anything to point out on that. So we are going to move and right along. There's a whole Insta dedicated to Kramer. If anyone's interested, oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh, that's awesome. I got to find that. That's cool. That cracks me up. Dude, I used to love when he would like just barrel in. I think I laughed every time he would barrel in. And like that look, because he's like kind of like me, like a little bit on the awkward side. So I think I always identified with Kramer there. All right. Next one we've got here is a John Deere. Now, these shirts always do well for me, especially if it's a John Deere print on an actual John Deere tag. A lot of times you'll see them on like a like Port and Company or Port Authority, or you'll see it on a tag that's not really John Deere. One, you can get a little ding ding on that, so be cautious. But something like this, I mean, this is a straight up John Deere. This is definitely a Y2K, because there's no way that they're still doing the woven tag. I probably won't get any more information than that on this, but I would say that this is probably like maybe like a 2014, 2013, maybe post Y2K. I'll have to look. I don't know John Deere's tags well enough to know what year that is. The graphics on it are still pretty good, which is great. A lot of times with these kind of shirts, people haven't turned them inside out to wash them because they didn't know that they're supposed to do that. By the way, any graphic t-shirt you own should always be turned inside out. There's a reason why when you guys see my graphic t-shirts, they are always so crisp. And the reason for that is because we wash all of our clothes inside out. We wash them on cool, we dry them on low, and then that will prevent the cracking. So if you're washing clothes to list them, make sure you turn that inside out. Otherwise, if someone else has been taking care of it before you and then you wash it and you don't do those things and you dry on high heat, especially Y2K stuff, you're going to end up with vertical cracks all day long. And we do not want that to happen to you. All right, so we're going to get a picture of the front. We're going to get a picture of the shoulders on this. And then I started kind of doing this recently, and I really like how it's looking at my photos. I started doing a picture of the graphics from the side. And that way people can see if there's like any major cracking or anything like that. Because sometimes it's harder to tell if you're like looking at it straight on. And I don't want anyone to feel like they aren't getting what they expected to get, right? We don't want to do that. I want all of our customers to get, I want to keep getting the reviews that say, you know, shirt is exactly as described, pants are exactly as described. I don't want anything else. And then on this item, 2 other things I'm going to do. So of course we're going to get a picture of the back, but then I'm also going to get a picture of this other little logo up front. So anytime you have anything with a brand name on it, you really want to feature any of those little things. So if this had like a lot of times on Nike tabs, it'll have this here. Right up here, obviously, you want to get that. And you want to make sure that you're getting any little caveats, because those are the things a lot of times that will put a buyer over the edge. Maybe they're teetering on trying to decide, but then they're like, oh, that's got a sick, double tag logo, or that's got, a rivet on it I didn't realize. And then those little things really do encourage the purchase. They also help you ask maybe $1 more on things, maybe 2, maybe 10, maybe who knows what it's going to be. All right, let's get a picture of this tag here. Definitely not made in the USA, made in Cambodia. So I'm going to say that this is probably a post Y2K, but I could be surprised. Man, things trip me all the time. Sometimes I think things will sell for, an insane price, and they won't. Sometimes I won't think someone's going to sell it all for something, and it winds up being this crazy price. So that's why I'm so grateful for being able to comp things in eBay, product research, Terapeak, looking on multiple places for pricing, and stuff like that, because holy smokes, you just never know, right? You never know. And then I always, of course, take a picture of the bag, because I will most likely write down the number wrong, because that happens to me a lot. So, oh, guys, we just hit 1,100. We're on bag 1,100. So crazy. Think about this. When I started really getting super, super full-time, and we're talking in the last, because I've been full-time for almost 6 months now, but the full-time in the beginning wasn't really full-time. I was full-time, but I wouldn't say my listings were full-time, if you know what I mean. I really have only been consistent since the beginning of August. So 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks now, about how long I've been on TikTok, because I started the consistency thing with you guys on TikTok. So I think I was at number, I have to look back, but I feel like I was at number like 480 or maybe 500. So that means that we have listed 600 items in 7 weeks. No, is that right? Oh my gosh, no. Can that be? And that doesn't count like shoes and hats and stuff. Whoa. I mean, I saw in my Vendu how many I've even done this month, and I was surprised, but I was thinking maybe those were D-list and relist, but they can't be. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy, you guys. Oh my gosh, consistency, dude. Consistency. Let me write these specs down really quick here. Otherwise, I'm going to get super distracted. And then I will take a look at those questions, because I saw a couple questions come in. All right, so it looks like our length is 26 on that. It looks like our chest is 19. Across, I always do across, and then I also do around, so 19 across, 38 around. And then also shoulders at 18. So this is what I started doing. I guess it's only been about a week and a half that I've been doing this, but this is what I started doing with graphics. So I started going to the side of anything that's got like a graphic print on it and getting that side photo. This is our initial photo, but then I'm also getting that little side one to put in there just so people can see if it's like cracked or anything like that. So wild, so wild. Let's see. Just pulling made up stories out of thin air. I know Kramer is so good for that. Oh, so good for that. Dear Chat GPT, please explain it to my charity. That's funny. I was just telling Justin, I was like, whoa, Chat GPT is pretty smart. Like, it knows some stuff. I haven't used it myself, but I was watching a video of somebody using it, and I was like, holy smokes. 10K coming in. You guys, 10K hearts already tonight. Whoa, that's the fastest this has ever happened. That's wild. So the measurements you just show in the end, that saves a lot of headache. Yeah, I write all the measurements down, and then that way I don't have to go and look back through photos. I don't want to be expanding photos and doing all that when I sit down, losing my place of where my photos were in my phone. I ain't got time for that. All right, next one we've got here is a little polo shirt. Now it's a t-shirt. I don't always pick these up, but I picked this up for a couple different reasons. Number one, it was 50 cents at a garage sale. So if something is 50 cents, that's screaming my name and my budget. So I usually pick these up, anything for 50 cents that I know will sell. I don't even really care what brand it is. If I know the aesthetic will sell, that is all that's important to me. So the reason I got this one is because of the loose and baggy aesthetic. So this is streetwear. This is street style. This is hip hop all day long with the big boat neck, the bagginess, 100% sell. Don't even have to question it. I know that this will sell. Is it a huge seller? Meaning, am I going to make $1 million on it? Well, no, wouldn't that be nice? But I probably will end up getting like maybe, I don't know, 14, 15 bucks for it. It just kind of depends on like what the how many are for sale and all that kind of stuff. But anything that's like got this Ralph Lauren polo logo on it and is in that big and baggy aesthetic, this is only an XL though. But because of the bagginess of it, it's going to fit the dude that wants an XL, but the only way he can usually get the big and baggy aesthetic or loose aesthetic is to go to a 2XL. But the problem he has is that once it goes to the 2XL, the boat neck is too big for him, and it winds up just dragging behind and doing the flat back versus like the scrunch, if you know what I'm talking about, in like a streetwear style. So if I can find an XL that's loose and baggy, that is going in my description all day long, every day, baby. And we are going to sell it 100% of the time because of that. So this is a 46-inch chest on a large. Hello, fire. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get a picture of the back of this. And then we will move over to our measurement table and also get a picture of the photo. Now, obviously this is a t-shirt for Ralph Lauren. I can tell by the tag this is modern. It's not Y2K. I don't even think it's Y2K. It's just going to be a modern fit, modern classic fit. And these are probably maybe even still for sale in the Ralph Lauren Polo store right now. Thank you for the rose, Denise. Oh, Vicky, thank you for the question. What is your backdrop? So if you go over to my wall and clickety on the old link dinketer, it'll take you over to the Tubies That's Ubies. Just click on that and you'll see it. Go over to the Tubies That's Ubies. I got a 2-minute video over there. It'll tell you everything you need to know about that. And it'll teach you how to do it, usually with even just things you have at home. So, all right, we got a picture of that. We're going to put that in here. And here we go. Yeah, so wild. I like that eBay is now keeping your item up for sale until paid. I know. How great is that? I love that. I am very excited about that. And also with the new eBay updates, they are also making it so when someone accepts your offer, it has to charge it right away, which is so exciting because I'll have them accept something and then it just sits there for 3 days and then I got to deal with it and it's this big old headache. I will say this though, customers aren't used to it. This has to already be in effect, and I'll tell you why. I sold a pair of camo pants tonight, and oops, I think I just invited someone to the live. I apologize. Please do not accept. I do that a lot. My fingers just choose things. Earlier today, sold a pair of camo pants. They sent me an offer. I accepted the offer, and then it auto charged them immediately. And that's not how it was before. And then they sent me a message like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it to charge me right away. So they're like, can you cancel it? I'll buy it later. And I'm like, hey, no worries. I'll cancel anything. I don't want somebody getting something in the mail that they didn't want. The only exception is if I've already shipped it, then you're out of luck, right? Thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. Yeah, this was a kind of a little labor of love. It took us 1 day to complete, and it has been just absolutely amazing. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the compliment. Bearded, what is up? Bearded. Okay, so my Facebook now knows that Bearded and is like my BFF, whether he knows it or accepts that as a reality. So not only did I get the number one fan badge or whatever, but now when I go to my FB, the first thing I see is your weekly roundup from Bearded Thrifter. Every time I go into it now, I'm like, oh my gosh. My FB's become a little bit of a STALKER there. You're welcome, Vicky. Oh my gosh. Today I found Jill Sander and a Junko Sagwa Japanese denim on the get. Oh, Miss Riz. That is what I'm talking about. Holy smoke. Riz, question. I haven't listed this yet because I need to steam it. On this, is this just called a jumpsuit or a jumper? What is it? What are these called? You can tell I don't sell women's clothing. Is it a jumper, jumpsuit, jumpwear? I saw so many different words describing this that I didn't know or understand. So somebody help your girl out. Yeah, Riz, I can't believe you got some crazy fire today. Where were you at? Were you at the thrift store? When I accepted an offer, it charged them right away. Thought that's how it's always been. No, it hasn't been like that for me. Those suckers will sit in there for 3 days. Yeah, I just listed a pair of Levi's. Oh, I missed that. Just listed a pair of Levi's with dual rear pockets. It was a slip and a snap. It's like 4 pounds. Whoa, that is crazy. That is a heavy pair of jeans. I know, Bearded. I don't even know what's going on over there. Well deserved, says Grace. It's true. I mean, I watch all of your videos, but it's just funny that it's just like your 36-hour roundup. Like, you have to know what you've missed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even see like my friends and family stuff that much over there. I just finished my WN show. Time to go get some dairy. Oh, Dairy Queen. Yeah, baby. Awesome, Bearded. Hey, don't forget later tonight in an hour, guys, we've got Hustle and Arizona are going to be interviewing Tino. If you like shoes or you want to sell shoes or you want to know about retail arbitrage with shoes, that is the dude to check out with. Gina, is it just a jumpsuit? Is that what it's called? Depop is a hard no. It was over 2 pounds. Wow. Just a jumpsuit. A bullet is more like a dress. Okay. Romper. Auntie. That's the word I was trying to think. Romper. All I could think was pantsuit, jumpsuit, romper. Okay. Got it. I was like, I'm not listening to this sucker until I talk to you guys because I didn't realize the comps on these things are bananas. Like, that farm brand is no joke. I got that thing for $3, you guys. Like, that thing is gonna fetch some money. So crazy. Not jumper. Yeah, I got what you said. I knew what you said, Coley. Not the BUL word. Yeah, shorts, romper, pants, jumpsuit. Okay. I know it was such a weird find. The lady I got it from too was like so pretentious, you guys. It was so silly. So I am the least pretentious person you'll meet on the planet. I know a lot of y'all in here are like me. I am sweatpants fancy. I wear t-shirts I get from garage sales. I got these at a garage sale for 25 cents. I wear the same pair of shoes. I just buy them over and over and over again. Like, I've had these for 20 years. I'm not, I just am not like, but you see what you get with me. And this lady was literally like, I go, how much are you asking? I said, how much you asking for this? It looks like something really comfortable to wear around the house is what I said. She goes, that's a designer brand. And I go, oh, and then I noticed the little farm thing. And I remembered from your guys' videos to look for that. So I was like, oh yeah, I think I've seen something about this before. She's like, yeah, they're very expensive. They fetch a very high price. I was like, I just thought it looked like something cool around the house. She's like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, how much are you asking for it? And I could tell she wanted to say a big number. I was like, I'd do about, I don't know, a couple bucks. She goes, oh. And I was like, I don't know, what were you thinking? She goes, well, I was hoping for 5. I was like, I'll give you 3. She goes, okay, fine. I was like, I want to give you 5 if you didn't have that attitude. Excuse me. Like, that fetches a high price. I was like, okay. All right. Next thing we've got here is a little Y2K. This is a Bass Pro Shops t-shirt. It's for like a little hunter kind of situation. It is a 2002, so we are heavily vintage on this one, which is fan-diddly-tastic. It does have the bottom hem is slightly rolled, but I'll be honest with you, in these older t-shirts, 1, it's to be expected, and 2, people don't usually care. Like, either a guy is buying this because he really is a hunter and really likes the funny saying that's on the front, or we've got like a skater dude that's buying it, or a streetwear dude that's buying it because it's like more of like an ironic aesthetic versus like they don't actually go out fishing and hunting. It's just kind of something to wear. That's a very like, I mean, if y'all were around in the early 2000s or late 90s, y'all know that that was definitely something. Like I can remember wearing one of my favorite T-shirts ever was in 1993. I had a blue Echo and the Bunnymen T-shirt. I didn't even know who they were. That was from like the generation before me. I had no idea who they were, but because it was like a weird retro thing, I didn't know anything about. It was ironic, and so I wore it. And that whole like idea of that kind of clothing is definitely back. Although this age group and generation doesn't consider it ironic, they would consider it like outdoor core, no, they basic core, norm core. They have all these words for it, but really all it is them wearing it because it's slightly ironic. So it's a really cool T-shirt, very heavy too. Yeah, designer is a reach. I know it's not Dolce. That's what I was thinking. I was like, you think that she was trying to sell me like a brand new Coach bag or something? Don't think I haven't seen people at the garage sales and they have them in glass cases at garage sales. I'm like, no one's buying a $1,200 bag from you at a garage sale that can't be authenticated. Like the only person that's going to buy something like that at a garage sale is going to be a reseller, most likely for a decent price if they know it's a good flip, or some lady that's always wanted a Coach bag that's got a $5 bill burning a hole in her pocket. She was taking her dog for a walk and she happened to see a garage sale and she's stopping by. Her and Fifi go over, they take a look at the bag and they offer $5. Ain't nobody giving you $1,200 at a garage sale. Come on. I mean, really, like so silly. That kind of stuff, just like, I don't know, I get fired up about it because it's just so absolutely insanely ridiculous. It's like, what are you doing? Put it on Facebook Marketplace or get it authenticated or something. I mean, dude, I wear a $4 fanny pack I got from the Smile store. So I'm not one to talk, but like, really? It's designer. Oh, I didn't realize we were in the fancy part of town. I'm Charity. I'm sweatpants fancy. Nice to meet you. Oh, goodness. She's getting worked up, folks. She's getting worked up, folks. Everything is scored. That's true. Also found Coochie jeans. Holy Denise. Where are you even going? A glass case. No, gracious. I've seen this multiple times at garage sales. Like glass cases of stuff. I'm like, what do you think this is? This is not like downtown Vegas. I'm not walking into the Bellagio trying to get a purse. I'm literally at a garage sale, down the street from a 7-Eleven. If a 7-Eleven is 3 doors down from you, you ain't selling a bag for $1,200. That's all I have to say about that. And this comes from someone that has a 7-Eleven close to her. I'm not getting $1,200 for a bag. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Let's see what we got. 1102 on that. Does not have the size on it, so I'll have to measure it out. It looks like a large to me, though. I want Charity's glasses. I could put them on and see the world through her view. I don't know. It might look blurry to you. You'd be like, whoa, this girl's eyeballs are getting old. Tino, we were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? All right, this guy right here, guys. Everyone see Tino? Tino, wave your hand. Wave your hand at us, Tino. Tino's going to be on in about 50 minutes. He's going to be getting interviewed by Hustle and Arizona tonight. I can't wait I'm going to have my notepad and my pen, and I'll be ready for some shoe knowledge because this guy knows a thing or two about shoes. All righty. Okay. Next one we've got here. Oh, is that stain or is that? And I'm undecided. Just a second. I can't tell. I think that's a stain. You know what? I think I might actually try to wash that again. I might put a little OxyClean on that. It's got a couple little spots down here at the bottom. I might be able to get that out because this shirt is literally sick. So this is a vintage Remington. You know what? It's got the thing, the pewty pew on the front here. This thing is old, like probably, I would say like 2001, maybe, if I had to guess, like easily 2001. With Thanksgiving coming up, like I'm going to be able to ask, I'll probably ask $10 more for this than I was going to ask because of the time of year. But I think I'm going to give it a little a little extra wash. It didn't pass the SNS test, folks, which is the sniff and see. So whenever I look at a shirt, I'm going to see it and see if it's got any dirty nasties, and I'm going to give it a little sniff and make sure it doesn't smell like it's been sitting in a garbage bag at the bottom of, Grandma Betty's basement for 14 years. So if it fails either of those tests, it's going in the wash. If it fails both those tests, it's probably getting washed twice. Okay, the next one here we got is a Browning. This is another hunting style shirt. The camo party. This is also has that kind of like political feeling to it, which is great for this time of year because we got the elections coming up. Let's see, this is Honduras. So this is probably like a 2005, I would say. Something right in there would be my guess. But of course, I'll have to Google Lens it. Who knows? I say dates, guys, and then I look up and see if I'm even right. Oh, you guys, we had a fire sale this morning. Do you guys remember that coat? Here, I'll just show it to you. We're going to be shipping this off. Oh, I think we just sold something on eBay too. Okay, do you guys remember this coat? I had never heard of this brand. I got it because I got it for $3 at a garage sale, and I just figured it was just a whatever coat. It wound up being this brand here, Love Moschino, which I'd never heard of, had like a scalloped edge. The other ones that were online were selling for about $1.50, but it had the belt. So this one has the loops in the back. It's missing its belt. So of course it needed to be slightly discounted. Y'all know I'm also a turn and burn seller. I want it in, I want it out. I paid $3 for it. So I was happy to take an offer of $113. Plus I super padded the shipping on that. So we'll probably make about $3 on the shipping. So I was stoked on that one. I was not expecting that, turning $3 into $113 all day, baby. Southern's here. Ooh, ooh. Best advice I ever got for storing clothes so they don't smell, from Riz. Silica packets. Yes, I have heard that. I'm terrified to have those in my home because I have a terrier that has no fear when it comes to eating things. Literally, if there was like actual poisons on the ground, she would eat it. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I have heard that for sure. Yeah. And then after I wash everything and I list everything and I go through the whole thing, if it still smells a little funky before I put it in the Ziploc. Now, I always keep my Ziplocs open. They're not shut all the way, just to keep airflow. But this stuff here, if you guys haven't used this, it works really well. It takes away that kind of bacteria, musty smell. I just got this from the old Smile store. I think I have it in my linkater if you want to get it, or you can just get it at the store, whatever. I just order online because I like having these delivered to my doorstep. But yeah, it works great for that too. It takes out any of that little residual scent. It works good too for like old toys. You know, old toys will get that like weird plastic smell. It's not cigarette smoke, but sometimes those old plastic action figures, like the G.I. Joes and stuff, will get that like it's like a burnt rubber mixed with like a skunky basement smell. I don't know. If you've ever lived in Washington State, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it has that smell, and that stuff works really well for that too. I just put it on a little rag and then I wipe the guy down with it. Yeah, puppy's hard pass. Yeah, we don't have anything in our house that would even remotely that they could get into, because like I said, she just has no fear. It's not, she won't smell it, she won't see it, she'll just literally eat it. So, okay, let's see. We got to get photos of this one here, and let's take a look. All right, we're at just a regular 0 on our exposure. Let's take a look. I think that looks pretty true to tone there. And then we're going to get these shoulders, and then we will get our other measurements here. Are you guys listening tonight, or what are you guys up to tonight? Who's doing what? I'm curious. You guys ship today? Are you listing today? What have we been up to? Regular 9-to-5 jobs today? What's the situation been? Gosh, I just love this. I think this back looks really cool. It does have a little cracking on the graphics, but I mean, this is so old, it's kind of to be expected. The graphics are still all there though. But I'll show you guys what I mean about your let's spread that out. No. We want them to look even. I know, I got a symmetry thing. It's a symmetry thing. It's a charity thing. Everything has to be symmetrical. I am going to get a picture of just the side of those graphics though, just so people don't. Oh, we got an offer too. Let's take a look and see what we got on that. So he's got a Depop offer. It's always fun looking at these offers live. See what we got. Okay, what do we have? Who wants what? We have someone that wants, I wish Depop, if you're listening to me, I wish you'd put your selling offers at the top of your thing instead of like you having to scroll and find them. I think that's so silly. All right, it's on a pair of Asics. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember these shoes. When are these from? Whoa, I've had those a while. I don't even remember those. Let's take a look here. So I'm asking 21.25. They want 16. It sounds great. Perfect. That's 21% off, I think. Fantastic. Let's do it. I got those for $2 at a garage sale. So sounds great. Wonderful. Now we just hope they pay, right? Gray or black. Kim's being a nurse tonight. Kim's doing the real job. What do you do on your backdrop? Looks like shirt, stick to it. Yeah, it's a felt, and then my board's kind of tipped out. If you go over to my wall, click up on the old link dinketer, it'll take you to the tubies that's Ubies. And if you go over and find me on Nice Comps there, you will see how to make this. You know what I should do, guys? I should probably take that video and put it in my old LINK tree. That way you can find it a little bit easier. I'm learning about reselling after work. Holy, I love that. Sometimes I use tape. Yeah, I'll put a little tape around on the shoulders if I have to. Denise says, I'm in bed now. I took pictures and listed today. Congratulations, Denise. That's what I'm talking about. What else do we got here, guys? Yes, Gracious is very good about helping out too, for sure. Thank you for doing that. Fury in a bottle. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, we're going to get a picture of the tag here, and then we will move on to our next item, and we will hope that they pay for those shoes. We'll find out, right? That's the thing about Depop. We never put any stock in it. Why, kids? Because Depop is a social media platform that just helps to sell some items. Their goal is to get you on the app, to hang out on the app, for you to have conversations with your buyers, for all of those good things, all of that good stuff. They want you to talk and chill. Katie Kaboom! Welcome, welcome, welcome in. I'm happy to see you tonight. How are you? And welcome over on YouTube too, guys. I see you. Or the tubies, it's Ubies. Gotta be careful saying that one, right? All right, so we got 1103, and that was our Browning t-shirt. This will probably be like a, I don't know, $14 or $15 flip over on that one will sell either eBay or Depop most likely. And I think that was a large. Let's take a look. Yeah, these are all, everything tonight is kind of a lot of bread and butter stuff. With it being a voting one, I can put some political kind of tags down there at the bottom, and I may end up being able to get a few bucks more out of it. The graphics do have a little bit of cracking on the back. Oh, I was going to show you guys something too. And I'll show you here just a second. Let me write these down. So our length is 27 and our shoulders are 21.5. So this is why it's so important when you're washing any of your clothes that have graphics on them. So this is an older t-shirt. I mean, it's nowhere near as old as this one here, but I've had it a while. It has washed. I got it secondhand, so it's kind of been through the life. But when you look at a shirt here and you see all those cracks that look like that, what that comes from is from people washing it and drying it incorrectly. So anything that has graphics, when you take it off at night, you just want to peel it up and leave the graphics inside. And then you also want to make sure you're washing it on a cool setting and then more of a cool tumble dry. And that'll keep that from getting any worse. It's also good advice for if you're washing clothes to resell. You don't want to bust things off before someone else buys it. Our fair is into an agricultural field trip. Oh, I almost couldn't say that for a second. That's awesome. You have such good explanation of Depop. Can you please explain Macari as if I was a person? Macari is like you go to Wally World and you're hanging out in the front area where there's like a food place and you're getting like a sandwich, and you only stopped in because you had to get like some hangers. But then there's some people buying hangers, but they're also buying a bunch of other random stuff. So they're getting like some hamburger meat, and they're getting like a shirt, and then they had to get some foot deodorizers, and then they also remembered that their kid wanted some popsicles. That's what Macari is. Macari is a conveyor belt at like Target. It's kind of just like a mishmash of a little bit of everything that you could ever imagine. And the stuff that sells over there is usually completely random, and there's absolutely no rhyme or reason for it. I hope that makes sense. Vanessa's here. I'm so happy to see you. Can I see the paper you're writing these on? Yes. So this is really fancy. I use a ruler, an old notebook, a Sharpie, and a highlighter. So I just measure these out. They're never the same size. You can see they're uneven. It takes me about 5 seconds to do it. It's cheaper than doing it on printer ink or getting it printed out or whatever. I like to use stuff that's laying around the house, guys. That is who I am. I am a penny pincher. So if I got it laying around the house, I will definitely use it. How long did it take you to make a full-time income doing this? I would say, gosh, that's such a hard question because I dabbled, didn't do it for about 8 months, dabbled. I've really only been taking this super serious, as in like serious, for about 7 weeks now. And I am completely full-time, but I had already decided not to go back to my regular job. So I just had to kick it into super high gear. We moved and I didn't want to have to find another job. So I was dabbling, I was learning. I always say dabbling, but it was more like I was in school. So it was taking me like an hour to list something, an hour to cross list things. So I was doing it on kind of a regular basis. I was just doing so little of it that it wasn't bringing in enough income. Now it's like full-time serious. And now I'm definitely making an actual living doing it. But my COG, my cost of goods is really low too, guys. I am the hauler for $1. I buy stuff at garage sales. Oh, thank you, gracious. I'm kind of feeling like I'm in a groove and it feels really good, you guys. I just don't ever want to get out of this. Knock on wood. Stay in the groove, right? Grooves in high. Grooves in high. She's not going any higher than that. All right. Next thing we've got here is visit the American Wild Outdoors. This is definitely vintage. Let me see if we can figure out. We got to get Old Eyes, guys. You knew we'd be busting out Old Eyes tonight. Old Eyes comes out at least once every time we list. Let's get them on, guys. Let's get it on. All right. This is oh man, it might be too faded. I think it's going to be too faded. I can't see it anymore. It's such a bummer. There's little writing down in here, but it's just too old. But I know it's vintage by a couple different things. Number one, it's not single stitch. Number one, it is a beefy material, meaning that the t-shirt has got some flavor. So when I look at something that's newer, right, I'm looking at the weight of this is a mossy oak shirt. You can almost see through it. It's just, it feels flimsy. It's a great shirt. It's lightweight. Someone's going to love it. But you get this and it's got like meat. It's like beefy. It's like BB cheesy taco graphics. Oh my God, freaking. It is literally just like everything you could ever imagine in a shirt. And this thing has been through the ringer. Also, look at that tag. That is a double back Delta. They absolutely do not do that anymore. They haven't in a very long time. It's Honduras. This is going to be like a 2005. I bet you this is a 2005. And you only know it because, how do I know that? I know that because I've done it enough. It's just like with anything. How do you know how to change a diaper? Like I can remember looking at my son and I was looking at a cloth diaper and looking at my son looking at a cloth diaper and I was like, how am I getting this thing on without sticking him with the pin, right? And I was terrible and they fell off a lot at the beginning. But then you get to the point where you're talking and all of a sudden the diaper's on, you don't even realize it. It's just like with anything. And you'll get to know aesthetics just by feeling them. I remember when I first started going sourcing with my son and he was already selling and he sells a lot of Levi's too. Him and I have like literally almost the same aesthetic. We dress so much alike that I have to watch and see what he's wearing when we go out places to make sure we're not wearing the same thing. I wear a lot more brighter color stuff than he does, but he still dresses just like me. So him and I were both interested in a Levi's look. And I remember going to garage sales or going to the thrift store with him, and he would literally say, he's like, oh, there's a pair of Levi's. And he would see it from across the room. Like, how do you know that? And he'd go over and he'd be like, Levi's, 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 and just picking them out. And he was like, you'll get it, Mom. You just have to feel stuff enough that you start figuring out what items are from the feel of it. And he's right. I can literally go anywhere now. I can flip through jeans and tell you what the Levi's are in 2 seconds. I can feel what a 90s is. I can almost tell you the year of the Levi's now just by feeling it, just because doing it. So if you're feeling frustrated because you're like, I don't know what's good or what's this or what's that, you'll get it. You just got to do it enough. It's just like anything, right? Yeah, that is a crazy tag, right, Gracious? Yeah, I have Garfield shorts on. DW, I got these at a garage sale for 25 cents last weekend. I was like, I'm not giving those up. Are you kidding me? They are fire, dude. There's some things that I'm like, I'm not selling that. There's no way I'm selling these. I don't care what I can get for them. I'm not selling them. They are absolutely rad. They make me so happy. Justin didn't know I had them. I came walking out of the room and he's like, are you wearing Garfield shorts? I was like, yeah. And he's like, my wife. Like, he always does that because he's just like, your style is so random and I love everything about that. I'm like, well, that's good because if you didn't like random, I am not the girl to be with. Everything I do is like legit random. Oh my goodness. All righty. We're going to flip this sucker around. And I want to get a picture of the side graphics too. I got used to incorporating that in. I saw that on, where did I see that on? I saw it on someone that sells a lot of t-shirts, and they were showing how they do their photos. And I think I saw them, they were doing like sideways ones. Gosh, who was it? It wasn't Surf. Who was it that I was seeing that? I don't remember. Somebody else that sells a lot of t-shirts, and they were doing the view of the side. Maybe you guys know of the side graphics. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. Because I get that message a lot. How are the graphics? Are the graphics crisp? So now I put in my descriptions, I'll be like, graphics have slight cracking, or graphics are crisp, or graphics are fire, which just means they're in really good condition. Either way, it just depends on like who's reading it, what the age group I think is that's going to buy it is kind of how I will do my descriptions sometimes. If it's something that I know is going to sell on Depop and not sell on anywhere else, I will literally write my description out as if I was just going to put it on Depop. It goes everywhere else, but I'll put it on as if it was just going on Depop, because I just have a feeling that's where it's going to sell. So Blended Oasis, I'm so happy. Hi, I just joined. So what are the Levi's that are worth money? Anything that comps good. There's so many different kinds of Levi's out there, and it really just depends on what you're getting them for. So I'm the holler for a dollar girl. I get stuff for $1 at a garage sale. So I don't know that I have ever, in the whole time that I've done this, ever spent more than $3 on a pair of Levi's. So if you're getting them for an inexpensive price, pretty much anything sells. Now, the women's, like the Denizen and those brands that you can just pick up like off the rack at Kohl's or something like that, where there's like 8 million of them, not the folded ones on the wall. We're talking the hanging ones. Those usually aren't really worth it. I mean, you're only going to get anywhere between like $9 to $13 for those, unless they're new with tags. But if I get them for 50 cents or $1, I'll still put them up. It's just not something that I look for when I am out in the wild. If it's all I can find, it's all I can find. But that's not really what I want. Now, if you want to get good money, you're going to be looking for orange tags. You're going to be looking for tags with the big E on the back. You're going to be looking for, let's see, 517 boots are really big right now because of the whole Western aesthetic and also the flare leg. You got the whole 501 line, button flies always sell. I can't keep those in. Then you've got, of course, like your 505s, your classic legs. Those always just are bread and butter ones. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the 569s. That's like a loose and baggy aesthetic. If you can find those are great. Also, the older, more vintage silver tabs are great because those are going to be baggy, and that's like a streetwear aesthetic that's really big. It also lends into the skater aesthetic. I'm trying to think what else. Anything with the black label on the back tends to be either 1970s, or it can also be like the skinny leg, and that's really big for like indie skater, emo, rock, sad boy, all of that look, although not as much money. So really, it's just a matter of comping it, seeing what it's selling for. The easiest way to do it is in your eBay app, go down to product research, which I know a lot of people don't know about this yet, but it's been out for a little while. I think I ended up in a beta testing for it because I've had it for like quite a while. But if you look down here, so when you're in your items here and you scroll down, you'll see product research. This is like on your selling page. And if you go to it, you can type in, like I can put, let's do Levi's 501, but we'll just do button flies because that's easy. Button fly jeans. And you just type it in, and then what it's going to do is it's going to pull up kind of what they have typically been selling for. Now, I want you guys to think about something though. So you see this and it says it's down, right? $24. I usually get out of a pair of Levi's anywhere between like 23 to, it depends on just the bustedness of them, to 30. Plus sizes, I get a lot more, but that's usually typical. Now you're like, oh, well, why is it down? That's so weird. I thought they were popular. They are. You guys have to remember, we've been in a summer month. This is still considered more of a summertime weather that's been happening. So this is pulling metrics from the last 90 days. So you've got all of June, July, and August. Well, do you think heavy 501 button fly jeans were selling that time of year? Not really. So, I mean, they did. I've been selling jeans all summer, but you're always going to get a few dollars less that time of year. So as we are now going into fall, my jeans, my coats, my hoodies, I am going to mark them up a little bit, even if they're going to sit for a second, because I know that it's going to sell. My shorts, my swimsuits, and all of that is going to be a little bit low. So you got to be willing to kind of go with the times, and you have to also take in consideration in your back end, whenever you're doing comps or you're doing product research or anything, you have to think about with clothing, what time of year has it been? It's like right now, people are like, oh, it doesn't look like Christmas stuff is selling. If you look at the last 90 days, that didn't really sell. Well, yeah, it was the summer. It wasn't Christmas time. So now that Christmas is coming, we'll be able to sell more of that stuff. And then those metrics will go up. And it goes in reverse too. So if you're looking up Levi's in February, it's going to be up to probably 26 to 27 on that product research. But all of a sudden it's April and you're like, well, it said it was $27. Why am I only selling for 24 now? Well, yeah, because it's not winter. Those were the winter ones. Now it's summer again. And now that price is going to be a little bit lower. So I hope that answers your question. That was a very long-winded version of that. Retro vintage always does well for me. Absolutely. Don't ask about the garage. Dude, I have filled it back up. You guys, I have been listing every day so many things. You guys know that. Look at the numbers that we're on. We are on huge numbers in our bags. And I've been listing every day. And I literally have I have refilled the garage because of garage sale. Like, it is bananas. It is insane. It's lost its mind. I have enough stuff to list me through the winter time when garage sales are slow. For sure. Sonia, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you're not already following, thank you for the follow too. How do you manage the delisting when it sells on a platform? I use a software called Vendoo, Vendoo. If you go to the old LinkedIn up in my bio-y, you will click on that. You'll see it. It says, learning about Vendoo. Other people use Auto Posture. Everybody uses something a little bit different. I just really like Vendoo. So that's what I've been using. Hey, DJ. I feel as these younger generations grow up, it's going to go heavily sustainable. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but I think as these next generations go, people are going to stop buying fast fashion, and a lot of those companies are going to go under because nobody can afford to buy a shirt, wash it 3 times, and then have it fall apart anymore. Christy, I don't think Vendoo is. I have the highest, most absolute giant tier that you can get on Vendoo. I think I pay like $65 a month, but it is literally the highest, most hugest, most giant thing you can basically do on there. If you're not listing, 20 items a day, then you don't need it to, you don't need that. When I first started, I did the free option at the beginning. I think it was on like a, what do you want to call it? Like a trial thing. And then after that, I think it was like $14 a month or something right in there. And that suited me fine for a very long time. Very, very, very long time. I mean, I just switched to the larger amounts in the last couple of months because I wasn't listing enough for it to be cost effective. What is the acrylic finisher used for? The acrylic finisher. Are you talking to me? I'm not sure what you're talking to, if you're talking to me about. Are you talking about this? Are you talking about this stuff? This one here that's in my linkater? If you're talking about this, give me a little thumbs up and then I'll tell you about it. Okay, this is another t-shirt I got this last weekend. This is a little mossy oak. So this is not something I would normally pick up. Are you not going to pass the sight test? Let's see. No, you're good. So I got it because it was 50 cents. If this was any more than 50 cents, I would not have picked it up. This is not going to be an expensive shirt, but these kind of things I like picking up and keeping them in my store because on Depop, it will encourage people or Poshmark, it'll encourage them to do a bundle, which means I will get other items sold because they think they're getting a steal because they're getting free shipping or they're getting a discount. And they are. I mean, they're getting a deal, but I'm also selling something out of my inventory and I'm getting them to buy something that they maybe wouldn't have bought because they didn't want to pay for the shipping. So I'll make a little money, they save a little, and we're good to go. Let's see. Carrie, okay, yes. What is this for? This is to fix patent leather shoes, and this is actually on my list of videos to make. So if I ruin something, I get really annoyed with myself. I'm sure you guys do because I've spent money on it. I got a pair of Steven Jacknowitz slip-on shoes. I probably said his name wrong because I have 3 times before. It was a Nike collab and they were patent leather. I had a rag. I don't think I remembered that there was something on it, or I can't remember. I tried to clean it, but I think there'd been some rubbing alcohol on it and it literally scraped off the patent leather. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went down this deep, deep, deep rabbit hole on the old Tubies at Ubies, found this ancient video that this guy had made on this stuff. It wasn't even the same. Like the colors are all different. It was complete because it's a really old video. And he kind of explained it, but then I was like, okay, well, now that I've seen it, I'm going to buy this stuff. It wasn't expensive. It's going to last me 8,000 years. And I'm going to try it on these Nikes because I was like, well, they can't be any more ruined than what I've already done to them. So I followed the instructions he had. His instructions were kind of basic, so I kind of had to figure it out. Those shoes are perfect. Look at these. Look at these shoes. They are amazing. They are absolutely crazy good. Let's see. I think I still have them. I haven't shipped them. I don't think I've sold them yet. Let's see if I can find these. They look so good. Nike shoes. Let's see if I can find these in my inventory. Yes, look at these. So they're a 2014. I had literally taken all of that off. All that shine was gone. And now they literally look brand new. They're so shiny and beautiful. And the great thing is, this stuff does not peel off. It doesn't come off. It doesn't flake off. It doesn't wipe off. It doesn't wash off. I tried. It is awesome. So I would highly recommend that if you have anything with patent leather. I use it on all my shiny boots, anything I get, because at the thrift store, it's usually so cheap, or at the garage sale, it's usually so cheap for like patent leather shoes. Like I got a black pair we just shipped out, a white pair we just shipped out that I got for like $1 because the people, they had streaks all over them. So I was able to just wipe the streaks off and then I was able to use that. So yeah, it works really, really good. That shirt will go, I missed that. My wish list just keeps getting longer. Not that I'll ever need this. Yeah, if you don't need it, don't get it. But it's always there if you need it, Gracious. Yeah. What is the name of that stuff? Here, I'll hold it up one more time. If you, like I said, all you got to do is just go over. I don't want to hold up things too long because then TT gets weird about that. But if you go over into the old link dinketer in my bio, you will see where click on the thing that says reseller tools to get you started. In there, it's either under, so you want to clean some shoes, or it's under just reseller supplies. Just look through there and you'll find it. It's in there. Does it work if the patent leather has streaks on it? So what I do is I get like the outside streaks off. So if there's like, if rubber's touched it, and I can just take a little cloth with a little water and just kind of get it off, or a little Goo Gone works great for that. Then I can get that off. And then if there's any gashes or anything like that, it'll put the shine back. It's not going to fill in everything, but it'll put that shine back. That sucker will look so amazing. Yeah. Okay. Let's get a picture of this stuff here, and then we will move along. All right. Let's take a look here. Now this is a white shirt, so I'm going to look and see how this looks with my exposure being at 0. Not bad. I'm going to bring it up to 0.3 though. Sometimes you'll get like shadows on the light colored stuff, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah. Okay. So here's the first picture I took, but see how there's like some shadows in there, and it looks almost like, is that darker up there? Like you can't tell. This is the next one. So it's not like huge difference, but it really does make a difference on the exposure. So see that darkness look? And then it looks back to like a lighter, whiter color, which is what it is. I went hunting and can't find that board where you take pictures. Are you talking about the pink board that's back here? That's behind the felt? It's at, we got ours from Lowe's. They have it at Home Depot too. It's like the Pink Panther brand. It's called foam insulation. It's what people put in their wall when they're doing like bathrooms, because it's like more of a water resistant solution. They're not expensive. If you go to the YouTube's linkater and watch the video, it should say in there where to get it. And then when you go to the hardware store, just ask them, just be like, this is what I need to get. It was only $20 for a huge giant piece, like literally such a good deal. So now it comes more long. So if you notice in our video, what we had to do was we cut part of it off and made it more of the square, but the video explains all of that. And then I put felt on it. Yeah, in that video to show you, Justin did it with some boards, some screws, and a staple gun. That's all it was. It wasn't anything, it's definitely something you could just build most likely from the tools you have at home. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy stuff. Although I think if Justin had his way, we probably could have spent, 900 hours in Home Depot or Lowe's looking for it, because him going in that store is like me going thrifting. He's like, oh, wow, I've got 14 more projects. I got a little list here. I'm like, oh, torture. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go home and I'm going to work. And then you just let me know when you're done. Because I do not want to, the amount of time I want to spend in a hardware store is exactly 0. Now, that being said, the amount of time I want to spend in any store is exactly 0. So I buy everything in my life. I buy online. That is not an exaggeration. I want noodles for pho. I order them online. I want pho broth. I order it online. I get such bad anxiety in stores. Our groceries, we order them ahead of time and we get it thrown in the back of the car. Man, I cannot do the in the store situation. I don't know what my deal is. It gives me like the exact same. Well, one, I don't want to spend the money. It just all seems so expensive. But 2, it gives me the exact same anxiety feeling that the lights in high school used to give me. Do you guys remember the big, huge, giant fluorescent overheads? I know you all know what I'm talking about. They probably even still have them. Those lights that would be like, and if you have a brain that's a little spicy, you hear the all the time. And so I would sit there in class and I would count the number of that were happening because I couldn't stop myself from doing it. And then I would get like a radiated anxiety feeling from them. That's what happens to me in stores. So we go in Home Depot and we spend any time in there, or Lowe's or anywhere. And I'm just like, after about 15 minutes, I'm like, I have to go. It's like, I mean, I don't even do movie theaters, guys. Like, I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Friday Night Lights, baby. One of the greatest shows. I love that show so stinking much. I love that show. That is an easy favorite of mine. I don't even know if that's what you're talking about, but that is an easy favorite of mine. Spent I had that actually, weirdly enough, this is totally off the topic of reselling, but that show got me through two really weird places in my life. I don't know why, but that show, I just find like I have like so much comfort for that show. I'm not talking about the lights, but the show itself. And it got me through two things. The first thing it ever got me through, and this is a story I've never shared actually on here before. So when I was, let's see, this would have been 2013. I had a bone in my neck turn sideways. Now, it's a problem that I'd had my whole life, but we just didn't realize it. So I had my atlas bone turn sideways, and it cut off all of the the correct fluids to the old brainy. And I ended up with what's called thunderclap migraines, which basically felt like someone taking a baseball bat and smacking me on the back of the head. And it would happen about 5 times, and then I'd get like a 10-minute break. So I'd feel this feeling of getting hit on the back of my head. My pupils would go huge, and then it would go ho 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 for about 5 or 6 times, and then it would start to go away, and I'd have 10 minutes again. Well, this was going on for a long time. Couldn't figure out what it was. Not to make a long story short, I went through every single test. We went through everything. I mean, literally everything possible. And it turned out that this bone was sideways. And so I see a very special chiropractor for it now, and they keep it in place so that it'll never happen again. But during that time, this is before everybody had like Netflix. And I mean, it just wasn't like, not, you just didn't have that stuff as readily available. I mean, you got to think this is 2013, and we certainly didn't have cable or anything. And Justin had to work at the time. He was a heating and cooling tech, so he worked on heat pumps, and so he could only take so many days off, and he had to work. I was a stylist, and I couldn't work, and so I had taken my salon was closed down. It had been like 6 weeks of this going on. And once we figured out what it was wonderful. But in the intermediate time, I was home alone every day with this pounding amount of head. They had me on all sorts of different MEDs. And it was just this really crazy, insane situation. Like probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through. By the way, I saw Harley Davidson here. Probably one of the hardest things I'd ever been through in my whole life. But what Justin would do is before he took off for work, he would pull up the laptop at the end of the bed, and I'm on all these, what's trying to figure my life. My head's packed, and he would put all the episodes on in that, and then he had installed a software program so that the show would play to the next episode and the next episode. Now Netflix and all that has that now, but it didn't have that back in the day. And so he put that on for me. So I would lay there day after day and day after day and watch these. Of course, I'd fall asleep. I'd get the little mouse and rewind and watch them. So that show, weirdly enough, I don't know if it was the sound of the song or what it is. I get goosebumps even thinking about it, but it really helped me through that time, which is just, it's so strange that a show would do that, but it did. I just realized that front button wasn't done when we did this. I got to get a new picture of this front. So that was the first time it got me through it. And then the second time that show got me through something, I know this is totally off the topic of reselling, but I'm telling a story and that's just the way it is. The second time that it got me through was actually when my mom was kind of at the end and she was transitioning, and we had a little bed downstairs, and we used to have, our old house had this giant, huge screen, like we would put a projector up on it. And so I put that show on, and I sat in the chair next to her for the whole time while she was at home as she was, transitioning to another spot. And we started out watching it together. And then, of course, by the end, I was just watching it. But it just brought me like this really weird comfort. And I don't know why. I don't even know why I'm sharing this story with you guys, but I am. And it just, something about that show just brought me that feeling. I really like the lady, the mom that's in it. I love that guy, that actor. Everyone in it was so good. And it just really just made me feel good. Made me want to move to Texas. I mean, maybe that's why we're here, guys. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe, sometimes the things that we do in our lives that we don't think are a big deal at the time end up being such a huge deal later. And maybe that's it. Maybe that time encouraged me to want to move down here. So yes, and Chad in Arizona start in about 11 minutes here. So we actually have 2 more items. So that's perfect timing. And if you guys aren't following I Can Hustle or Arizona Pickin', they are going to be interviewing Tino tonight. And Tino is like one of my favorite new people to watch because he is a shoe guy. He knows everything about shoes. So if you need info on shoes, that is something you do not want to miss. I hope that story didn't totally bore everybody, but that was kind of it, Carrie, thank you so much. I love the Law and Order SCV song. Dude, I get that, Gracious. I love that too. That's me and my son's show. Like, he loves that one. So do I. We have a whole nicknames. We have Elliot, Stabler. We have like a whole like hilarious little way we talk to each other because of that one. Is the phone holder strap called Where Can I Get One? Yeah, Ashley, if you go over to my wall, click on the old LinkedInker that's there, and you'll see something. It'll take you something that says reseller supplies to get you started. And if you follow that over there, you will find that in our Smile store link. If you know what that is, I just can't talk about that on the TT. They get weird about that. So Harley Davidson 1106. Perfect. We're got a couple more things here. All right. So this one is a special force. Says De Apresso Liber on it. Definitely Y2K, made in Mexico, so early. And it's nice and baggy. I mean, I can't imagine this thing doesn't sell pretty quickly. It's a total beefy. Oh, look, there's blue hairs on it. I wonder who's got blue hair. What blue-haired person has been getting all up in my business here and putting their hair on my stuff that I'm selling? That's what I want to know. I want to know what blue-haired person. Also, if you're new to reselling and you haven't gotten yourself a fabric shaver, please do. It is going to make your clothes look so much better. They're not expensive. You can find it at the same place on that Smile store through our old LinkedIn, and it will just help to get any bad guys off there and make your shirt look new again. All right, and then last trick I'm going to show you guys before I let you go so you can get ready for Hustle Show is how to do these sleeves. So a lot of newer resellers, what you'll tend to do is you'll bring those sleeves way out there. Well, here's the problem. By the time I take a picture of this, and I'll just show you what I mean, by the time I take a picture of this to get it up, look at how far away my shirt has to be able to get everything in the frame. However, if I take my sides and I fold them in once, and then I fold them back, and then I fold them in once, and then I fold them back, you are going to be able to get so much more of that shirt in, and people are still going to think it looks like a shirt. So I'm going to show you the difference here, and it is absolutely astounding, the difference in the two. Like, how close I'm able to get is bananas. All right, so here's how it looks, because see, I have to make sure those arms get in the picture, right? It's all the space down here. It's all awkward and weird. But if you fold those in, look at the difference. That's such a huge difference. Like that or that. Big, big, big difference. All right, we're going to get this measured. This is a gigantic shirt, which is awesome. This is totally the loose and baggy aesthetic. So we are going to be able to get, I think, a good fetch for this. One, because it's a AAA apparel vintage shirt. I mean, this has got to be like, it has to be like a 2002. If I had to say what date this is, I'm going to go with a 2002. One from the tag, two from the squareness. but 3 because of just the beefy feeling of this shirt. It's got so much meat and potatoes to it that it's definitely vintage. I don't even have to question that one. All right, picture of the back. We're going to get a picture of the tag, and then I am going to close this out so that y'all can have a second before you jump in to Hustles. And I will be popping over there too while I'm eating some din-dins. And we're going to have a good time. All right, let's get this bagged up here. Any other questions before that? Oh, Ashley, good. I'm glad that helped you out. Sonia says, you are awesome. Following and tuning in as often as I can. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'll be live again tomorrow, guys. I got to do shipping tomorrow. So I'm not sure what time, but I'll put up a post like I always do. You can click on the little register thing when I do that, and that way you'll get a notification when I go live so that you don't miss it. I love getting reminder stuff. So absolutely. And thanks, you guys. So many people joined the team tonight. We got more subscribers. This is amazing. Who's that on your shirt? That's low-key, baby. That's low-key, baby. All right, Katie Beck. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the hearts. Almost 15,000, you guys. That might be our biggest. I think you guys pulled it out tonight. Let's see. Can we get to 15 before this ends? Let's see it. Tap, 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 tap. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Oh, we're so close. Yeah, we did it. All right. That's the most. That is the most hearts we've ever gotten on a like. So, you guys, I love this community. I love you to pieces. I will see you guys over at Hustles. I can hustle all day. And I'll talk to you guys. See you guys tomorrow. All right. Hi, Snap Dabble. All right. Bye, everybody. All right. And if you joining us on YouTube, whether you're live right now with us or you are watching this on the replay, thanks so much for coming. I'll be back on tomorrow and we'll get some shipping done. Thanks, everybody. Peace.